comes to town, the kids are around here wanting to water the elephants or poke sticks at the lions. Usually they're jumping around here like a bunch of chipmunks. Where are they?
What about that, Tony? What kind of town is this? Where is the audience?
You two wouldn't believe it, but before you came into town, I couldn't even walk down the street without having a comet tail of kids trailing after me, just waiting for us to get set up.
Where are they now? We open day after tomorrow.
It's the Duke.
Yeah, it's the Duke.
What do you mean, the Duke?
The Duke Felix Otway of Sleaford. He and his men just came in yesterday from Council Bluffs, and he says he is going hunting.
Well, what does he think he is? Some kind of Pied Piper of Hammond?
Something like that. He's the devil with the kids, and he puts on quite a show.
Show? Hey, Tony, you haven't booked us into a town with another show.
Oh, nothing like what you're thinking, Ben, no. He's camped on the other side of town, and you never did see a Duke, did you, Casey?
No, I ain't never seen no Duke. Let's go take a look at the Duke.
Yeah, let's hurry. If he's as good as Tony says he is, we better sign him up.
Dear me, no. There are no more dragons left in England. If there were, I certainly shouldn't have come all this way to go hunting, eh?
How are the Knights of the Round Table, Mr. Duke?
Oh, well, they're just fine, my boy. Thank you, they're just fine. Now, Lancelot, he's looking younger every day. And Sir Gawain, well, he seems content.
How about Robin Hood?
Oh, Robin Hood. Now, come in here and I'll tell you all about Robin Hood. Now, of course, Robin Hood was the fastest horseman in all of England. So the Sheriff of Nottingham and his men knew quite well that it was perfectly useless, there you are, to pursue Robin Hood as long as he was on horseback. So they decided that they would...
He's quite a spellbinder, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that's enough about Robin Hood for one day, children. Now, just run along. Off with you all. Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Felix. Duke Felix Otway of Sleaford. but Felix is fine.
Well, my name is Casey Thompson.
Ben Travis, sir.
We run the Thompson-Travis Circus.
Circus?
Mm-hmm.
Out here on the frontier.
Well, that's what we thought when we heard about you. A Duke out here on the frontier?
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. I suppose a circus is no stranger than a duke, eh?
Hey, from the looks of those kids, you put on a pretty fair show yourself, Duke.
Oh, yes. My roosters just cannot resist competition. Matter of fact, if they don't find it, they make it for themselves.
Your roosters?
Yeah. My men, my gamecocks, my hunters. Splendid a pack as you'll find anywhere, eh?
I recognize the Italian uniform and the French. That other one's Swedish, isn't it?
Yes. Swedish, Italian, French, and a Prussian. Quite a fine collection. Now, the Swede does absolute marvels with the light cannon. Perfectly pinpoint. Now, the Frenchman is my specialist in cartography. He can pass through countryside apparently half asleep and then draw you a perfect map of it from memory. Also quite good with sword and pistol.
Yeah, they're a very talented group.
Yes, indeed they are. It's taken me years to assemble them.
And the Italian?
Oh, the Italian, absolutely uncanny with chemicals and traps. Anything from Greek fire to a deadfall to snare a rabbit. Comes in quite handy on the hunt, you know. Oh, by the way, that's what we're here for, gentlemen. To hunt. And here is the best of them all. My good Colonel Rastad. Colonel Rastad, may I present Colonel Thompson and Mr. Travis?
Colonel Thompson, Mr. Travis.
These two gentlemen own the traveling circus that just came into town.
Fine horses you got there, Colonel.
They're the best.
Said we raise a pretty fair horse down Kentucky way, too.
Well, ours are better. It's in the blood.
You see, Colonel Rastad is quite emphatic.
Why, I like a man who believes in his opinion. They're the best.
That was courtesy of the Thompson and Travis Circus, ladies and gentlemen.
Bill, how about that?
That's Tony Gentry. He's our advance man. I'm afraid he couldn't resist getting us a little publicity.
Colonel Rastad feels challenged.
Were you aware, sir, that a contest was in progress?
No, it wasn't.
It's customary, I think, to wait for an invitation.
Well, I sure didn't want to bust in on anything.
It's all very well to make one jump on a fresh horse. Quite something else to make several in succession.
Mister, I think my horse could handle himself in any company.
Not in ours.
I'm afraid your friend is in for a rough time.
Tony can take care of himself.
That would be the minimum requirement, Mr. Travis. The question is, can he take care of Colonel Rastad? Huh? You know, you might save your friend some embarrassment if you ask him to stop now, Mr. Travis.
Oh, sometimes Tony is hard to embarrass.
But Colonel Rastad will not allow himself to be beaten. He never has been.
Well, Duke, there's always a first time.
Colonel Rastad will not permit himself to be excelled by an outsider. It's a point of honor, you know.
Well, out here in the West, the points of honor have a habit of becoming dulled, Duke.
Pretty good. But we mix our horses' oats with the Mexican jumping beans. We got to sit on them real hard to keep them from flying.
Raise the bar.
Duke Felix, why are you bringing these fine horses out here to go hunting with? You don't need jumping stock out west.
Well, we have come for bison this trip. But of course, I hunt everything. Bear, wild boar, cats, men.
And, men?
Oh, my dear Thompson, I don't kill them. Oh, no, the men, that is. I capture some, just as I've captured those 4. The common ones, I find, are quite purchasable. Oh, there goes Rastat now.
Well, blood will tell.
I didn't touch the bar. Ask your man. Look, didn't I clear it? You're the one that touched it. It didn't fall over till after I jumped.
That's not true. I cleared the jump. You hit the bar.
Oh, that's not true.
All right, Tony. All right, let it go, let it go.
You stand aside, please.
Sorry, Colonel, but I don't please. This has gone far enough. Tony meant no harm.
Well, what about you, Mr. Travis? Are you harmless, too?
Don't try me, Colonel.
Colonel Rastat, I shall ask you to retire, sir.
Well, if you make it clear that he lives by your grace.
His Grace, my foot.
Tony!
All right, Tony, come on.
I cleared the jump, Ben.
It's just a jump. Is it that important?
Yes, it is that important.
Come on, fellas. Let's get back to the wagon.
Well, all right, Casey. But you tell that puffed-up dandy that I'm going to meet him anytime, anywhere, and at anything, Ben, because I cleared the jump.
All right, Tony, let's go.
Interesting types, Mr. Thompson.
Well, Tony is a little hot under the collar, but he don't mean anything.
Oh, it might mean a great deal. Tell me, are either one of those gentlemen under contract to you, sir?
How's that?
Well, I was about to suggest that if one or the other, or both, are under contract to you, I might make you an offer.
You just wait a minute, Duke Felix. Ben Travis there, he's my partner. We own that circus. We share and share alike. Tony Gentry works for us. We're all three great friends. I don't know how a man stacks up over in Europe, but over here a man never is so common that he can be bought and sold. It is not since the last war.
You interest me, Colonel Thompson. Friendship is such a perishable quality.
Well, out here, it's about the only quality that really counts.
Oh, Colonel, I've annoyed you.
Well, you got the hackles a little bit up on the back of my neck.
Oh, no, please, Colonel, please, just forgive me. You see, this is new country to me. One makes mistakes. To show that I have no ill will, Colonel, in fact, to show my goodwill, I should like to invite you and your friends to a small dinner party tonight.
Now, wait a minute. We're going to be pretty busy now.
Oh, now, Colonel, I should think that you hadn't forgiven me. I should think that you had carried away a bad impression. Please, accept my invitation and put my mind at rest, will you? Surely I'm allowed one mistake.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Then you and your friends will come.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel, I knew you were a large-hearted man. Imagine sharing your friends with me. How excellent.
Hey, look out there. What is that?
Oh, static electricity. Dry climate, I expect. Well, till tonight, then, Colonel? Oh, dear me, dear me. A story, eh? Well, listen, where was I? Robin Hood? Right, now listen. Early one morning, Robin Hood got up with some of his merrier men.
Well, then what was I supposed to do, Ben? Huh? I mean, just stand there and let that tin soldier make a liar out of me? You saw what happened.
Yeah, from where I was standing, it did look like Rastat hit it.
Well, then you see, I cleared the jump. He gets the credit.
Yeah, you should have let it go at that. I think most of the people saw what happened. They would have given you the credit, but instead you had to make a big beef.
I won.
Fine, but you have to be a prima donna about it. Say, you know, Tony, I think the thing that's bothering you is that you didn't get the applause.
Look, Ben, you don't have to grandmother me.
Come on, knock yourself. What's the cause of this commotion?
Ben acts like I picked up the wrong fork at a dead-blamed diplomatic dinner or something.
You might have a chance to commit that error. You're having dinner with the Duke tonight. In fact, we all are.
Well, what, has the Duke got some sort of a spell over you or something? What'd you have to say yes for?
I don't know, Tony. I didn't see no harm in it at the time. And besides... Hey, do me a favor, will you? Shake hands. Not with me, with Ben.
What for?
Go on. Do as I say. You feel anything like static electricity?
There's too much moisture in the air for static, Casey.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What, are you both loco? Dinner with the Duke, huh?
What's bothering you, Casey?
Oh, Ben, there's just something in the air. You know, I don't like the way that Duke talks. I don't like it at all. And he wangled me into accepting that invitation.
I don't know. I think he's kind of a charming old man. Good showman. Oh, he's a little diabolical, but he's just human.
Yeah. Maybe that's all he is.
Are you interested in games of skill, Mr. Travis?
Circus man has to be, Duke. We play an elaborate game every time we perform.
I picked up this set in the Crimea. I was a pawn in that war, Mr. Travis. A rather gaudy pawn, to be sure, but nevertheless a pawn. I find that contests tend to make pawns of men. Don't you find that true, Mr. Travis?
Oh, I think that depends on the man.
I consider my men here a perfect set. They are sufficiently obedient to be useful, sufficiently individual to be entertaining. I wouldn't trade one of these men for 100. Still, Mr. Travis, I would like to add an American to my set. I think he'd be quite useful once we get a little further west.
Oh, why don't you hire a professional guide? A good buffalo hunter would make quite a contrast to your present collection.
No, I'm afraid that would be too impermanent. I want someone who will stay with me.
What's the pay?
We always travel first class wherever we go. Colonel Rastat will vouch for that.
Absolutely first class.
The only condition is that you would have to forego any other attachments, whatever they may be.
Well, I'm married, got 2 kids.
Well, I might settle something on you. Then you wouldn't feel that they were a burden to you.
You mean leave them? Well, I wouldn't do that for any amount. What kind of a man would that be?
I know that such attachments are hard to break. No, I was thinking of someone who had not formed any important ties. Someone such as, well, Mr. Gentry here. You're a free man, aren't you, Mr. Gentry?
I've got a job, Duke.
Oh, advanced man for a circus. Certainly you must want more than that.
No, I like what I'm doing. I don't plan to make a change.
Oh, because of your friends.
Well, that's one good reason.
In that case, you are no more free than poor Mr. Anderson here with his wife and 2 children.
Well, I think I am free, Duke. Besides, I'm not interested in becoming one of your pawns.
Ah, but you already are, Mr. Gentry. A very interesting pawn. You're so easily moved.
Now, wait a minute, Colonel Rastat. Out here on this frontier, we live and let live. But there's times that we set aside our manners.
Obviously not too heavy a burden to set aside.
Oh, well, come, gentlemen, please. Colonel Rastat, remember, you are a guest in a new country. There are bound to be differences of opinion.
Well, I'll settle any differences with him anytime he wants.
My dear Mr. Gentry, Colonel Rastat is a professional soldier, a very deadly gentleman.
Well, and I'm a professional circus man.
A clown.
Colonel Rastat, I apologize in the Colonel's behalf. Please now, gentlemen, let's not spoil our evening by a quarrel, eh? I have always been very interested in various national types, Mr. Travis, particularly under game conditions.
What sort of game conditions?
Warfare, for one, Mr. Anderson. My observations lead me to conclude that the professional, the mercenary, is far and away the best man in the field.
Well, it seems to me I recall we beat some professionals during the Revolution, Duke. Hessians, I believe.
Oh, yes. Well, we never considered them top rate, you know. As a matter of fact, how you ever beat them has always remained a bit of a mystery to me.
Well, I'm afraid we can't oblige you with a war.
Oh, warfare is only one game, Mr. Travis, only one contest. There are others. I used to like to race myself. A good horse, a good man, and a hard course, eh?
I don't think your men would do too good in this country, Duke. They're just a little bit too fancy.
You don't feel they would, eh, Mr. Gentry? Well, I should be very interested. I would be willing to offer $1,000 just to see how well my men compete against your local riders.
For $1,000, you could get half the population of Grand Island to ride, Duke.
Well, you'd ride a horse to death for $1 2 bits, Anderson.
I'd ride a 3-legged horse and beat you, Charlie, all the way to Broken Bow and back.
I sure could use $1,000.
Why, Dave, you ride like you got an anvil in your hip pocket.
Listen, I rode Pony Express for 2 years to put that anvil there. I don't think your men would stand much of a chance, Colonel Rastat. What a ride.
What about you, Mr. Gentry?
Anytime.
Good, it's settled then. Mr. Anderson, how far is it to Broken Bow?
Oh, it's about 25 miles as the crow flies. We could make it there and back in a long day.
Well, in order not to depopulate the town, I suggest that we limit the race to my men and those present at the table here, eh?
Those who feel that they can make it. We wouldn't want anyone to overreach themselves, even for $1,000.
This is one race I'll ride in for nothing.
Well, very likely that's all that you're going to get.
Tony, come on, we got us a hard day. Come on, we gotta go to work.
We don't have anything to do the day after tomorrow. I got tomorrow off, remember?
You don't want to get mixed up in this.
Oh, I didn't realize that Mr. Gentry was your man, Colonel Thompson. I wouldn't think of inconveniencing you.
He's not my man. I just think it's pretty silly to get on a horse and go gallivanting all over this countryside like that.
But you won't order him to stay.
I didn't order nothing.
Good, good. How do you feel, Mr. Travis?
Well, Casey has expressed my sentiment, Duke.
It seems the proprietors are of one mind and the hired help of quite another, eh?
Now, wait a minute, Duke. Nobody said anything like that.
Ah, have I misinterpreted the facts, Colonel Thompson?
Well, Tony's free to do anything he wants.
You bet, Duke.
All right. From here to Broken Bow. We'll sign in with Marshal Walworth to show we arrived, and then we'll head back. Well, boys, I guess if we're going to take the Duke's money, we better get a good night's sleep, huh?
Oh, now, nobody's taken any of it yet, you know. Gentlemen, I would like to ride with you, but I'm afraid I've already lost the race to old age, sagging muscles, and an expanding waistline, eh? Well, good night, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your company. I've enjoyed it. Good night to you, Mr. Gentry.
Come on, Tony, let's go. You coming along, Ben?
Yeah, I'll be along in a minute.
Did you enjoy the evening, Mr. Travis?
Well, I found it very interesting, Duke. Yeah, but frankly, I can't subscribe to your attitude toward people and your men. As for the race, I think you just set this up to embarrass Tony and the other ones.
Oh, my dear Travis. Mr. Gentry wanted to ride. So did Mr. Anderson and his friends.
I also feel that if Tony hadn't accepted, you would have called the race off immediately.
The very nature of a race is such that once started, it cannot be stopped until the course is run. Come, allow me to show you out, Mr. Travis.
Duke Felix, what is your real motive behind this race, other than the fact that you like to manipulate people?
Well, frankly, Mr. Travis, I'm interested in having Mr. Gentry join my entourage.
Well, I got that feeling, but how will the race help accomplish that?
Well, perhaps it won't, Mr. Travis. Perhaps it won't. Might I suggest, however, that you don't bet against me? Well, now, you'll want to get ready for tomorrow yourself, eh?
Well, no, I don't plan to race.
Few of us do, Mr. Travis. But a race has a way of compelling participation. Who knows what forces may be brought into play, eh? Good night, Mr. Travis.
Yes, good night, Duke.
What kept you so long?
Oh, nothing important.
Ben, Tony's gone plumb dumb to reason. He said he's going to win that race if it's the last thing he does. And you know that fella, Colonel Rastat? I think he's going to try to arrange just that.
Yeah, I'll go talk to Tony.
Ben, I don't like Tony being in that race. I don't like it at all.
Well, neither do I.
Let's go try to knock some sense into his head.
No, I just don't like Rastat, that's all.
Running a race, that shouldn't change your feelings about a man, Tony.
Well, Casey not running a race is going to change the way I feel about myself.
You think Rastat can beat you, is that it?
Oh, Ben, I know he can't.
I think I agree with you, so why race?
Because it's the principle of the thing.
What principle? Is it the money? Is that what you're after?
Ben, I told you I'd race for nothing. What's the matter with you two? The Duke proposes a race, and here you two are like two cats on a back alley fence. I want to tell you there are other jobs, you know. I can get along.
Oh, now, Tony.
Oh, he's right, Casey. The Duke's looking for a guide. Is that what you're after?
Oh, the Duke. You two act like he's some kind of a wizard or something. I want to tell you I'm not afraid of him or his crew either.
Nobody said you were, Tony.
Well, now, Colonel, you're supposed to be standing behind me on all this. You're trying to stop me.
Not standing behind you, Tony. Standing right beside you. That's the way it's always been on this show.
Then it's up to you, Ben. Are you going to ride with me, or do I take on the Duke and his men by myself?
Well, I guess you're not in the mood to grant me a personal favor and not ride tomorrow, are you, Tony?
No, I'm not in the mood to grant any personal favors, Ben. After what happened, I got to ride.
Yeah, I guess you do. I guess I better ride with you. But you grant me one favor. Control that temper of yours.
Ah, that's more like it, Ben. With you and me in this together, we're going to finish 1-2.
Or it could be 1-2.
All right, now, we're going in this together. And that's the way we're going to come out of it. Together, huh? Luke. When you get to Broken Bow, you spell your horses, you hear me?
So well, Casey.
If you'll go in this like a team, you're going to whip the world.
Well, sir, you've been nominated to give this race a good, fair start, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Duke.
Well, I see you're in, Mr. Travis.
It appears that way, Duke.
Just as I expected. Mr. Gentry, there's a bit of fool's advice I had as a boy. It matters not if you win or lose, but how you play the game. Now, that's utter nonsense. Once you're in, the only thing that counts is winning.
But I do plan to win, Duke, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I don't worry about it at all, Mr. Gentry. There's one thing more. Remember, there's always a place for you with me. No matter what happens today, there's always a place for you with me.
Thanks, Duke, but I've got a place.
Ah, yes. Well, you can't tell. Sometimes things change. I think you'd find our way of life quite interesting, all in all. So keep it in mind, Mr. Gentry.
All right, gentlemen. Now let's go with the gun. Scratch him, Tony! Duke, with my two boys in that race, your men ain't even going to stand a chance.
Oh, my friend, if either of your men wins this race, my chances are very good.
Wait a minute. You're not betting against your men, are you?
Oh, no. Just hoping to collect a new one.
Two in front, while the others rest. They change off. We're gonna have to keep track.
Well, I can keep track a lot easier, Ben, if they're all behind me.
Did you see Anderson?
No, I guess he just couldn't keep up.
Oh, when we get back in, it's at a steady pace. You know, this race really doesn't start until we head back.
All right, Ben, I'll follow just what you say, at least until we get to Broken Bow.
I think they're all right.
Can't say that I am anymore. Looks like you are.
That's where I plan to stay, too.
Hey, what happened there, Anderson?
Well, my horse hit a gopher hole coming cross country back there. Threw me into a big pile of mesquite. I had to shoot him.
That's a punctured an artery. I'll ride you into town.
Ride him, Ben. You're out of your mind. You're going to ruin your horse.
I can't be more than a mile or so. I'm not going to leave him here just because we're in a race, Tony.
Now, hold on. I ain't so bad off as you think. I sure don't want to bust up a friendship on account of a doggone gopher hole.
Yeah, you see, he's right, Ben. We got the lead. Let's keep it. We can send someone back for him in 15 minutes.
You can bleed to death in 15 minutes.
Marshal, anybody get here ahead of me?
Who?
The riders from Grand Island.
Oh, what are they after? And how many of them are there?
Marshal, it's a race. Now, we've got to sign in here. Have you got something I can sign?
Use that. What you racing for?
Racing to win.
Win what?
To win the race, Marshal. Now, what's the matter with you?
Well, I was doing all right until you come in.
Colonel, would you mind putting your name there, please? Or right below mine?
Where's your friend, Mr. Travis?
Well, he's taking care of Mr. Anderson.
Well, I'm glad to see that you don't share your friend's sympathy for the losers. That's no way to win a race.
I'll keep that in mind, Rastat. Good going, Ben. Go on in there and sign up and then get your horse turned around.
You think find somebody to take care of that army here?
Well, Doc Yates ought to be in the saloon about this time of day if he's on his feet. Besides that, I'd like to buy you two boys a drink.
Oh, Ben, we don't have any time for drinks.
Mind if my horse gets a little rest, Tony?
Well, all right. I'll run him over to the livery stable for you.
Walk in.
All right, Ben, I'll walk him. But will you sign in? I'll meet you in the saloon.
See you boys in the saloon.
Like you boys working just a little too hard, huh?
Right through, Gentry. Good luck.
Well, Mr. Gentry, it seems we've lost all but the professional circus men.
Uh-huh. And we're going to be pretty hard to lose, too, Rastat.
Dis donc, monsieur, you wish to register.
kids couldn't do any better even if he was sober.
You ready to go, Ben?
Tony, my horse has just been ridden double. If I don't give him a rest, he's not going to go another foot.
Well, now, I don't think you have to educate me about horses, Ben. I've been riding ever since I could walk. So maybe I think I know a little bit about horses. You don't have to talk to me every step of the way.
Maybe so, but so far you haven't shown it. Tony, this race isn't just once around the fairground. It's 50 miles. Just take it easy. We'll get back into it soon enough.
Ben, you can get back in any time you want. I think I'm going to ride this race my way. The only thing that's troubling you is you're afraid I'm going to beat you in.
Well, you're welcome to try.
And that's just what I'm going to do, Ben. I think Rastad had the right idea about not hanging in with the losers.
Hey, Tony, don't forget we're friends.
That doesn't give you the right to tell me how to race, Ben. Maybe you're not the kind of friend I thought you were.
Now, don't go too far. I am your friend. You ride the race any way you want.
That's just what I'm going to do, Ben. I might even find a better friend along the way.
I thought you meant that.
But I do mean it, Ben. You just try me.
I will. Tony, I like your new friends.
Here goes Rastad's man.
Hey, you come back here. Come back here, you whippersnapper. Come back here, I say.
You're having quite a field day, aren't you? Field day? Now, who's going to pay for all this? Oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Look, Travis, if you're still in this race, you better get going. Let me settle. You can pay me back out of that $1,000 that Duke's going to owe you.
Yeah. As long as that devil started this race, let's let him pay. Well, Anderson, I'm sorry you won't be finishing with us.
Listen, you tell them fools in Grand Island the next time they run a race through my town, I'm going to form a posse, burn down the whole town. Grand Island, I mean.
right. Yeah, just lost my horse, that's all. Oh, thanks, Ben.
I can't beat you if you haven't got a horse. Can you ride?
Yeah, they got about a half-mile head start.
Oh, you want to quit? Is that it?
I didn't say that, Ben.
Well, it's up to you. It's your race if you can win it. You won this race. Let's see how good you are.
Thompson. Travis is in the lead.
I just got thrown high as a kite. What'd you come back here for?
Well, I thought you were hurt, that's all.
You mean like Anderson?
You sure you're all right, Ben?
Yeah, I'm fine. Say, did you cross the line?
The line? What line?
The finish line. You know, for your vanity and that $1,000.
Oh, Ben, what would I do with $1,000 anyway? No, sir, the finish line's right here. No, Ben, the funny thing, now that that race is over, I don't even know what it was all about. Just like a spell was over me, huh? About those things I said to you back in Broken Bow.
Broken Bow? I don't think I've ever been there.
Why did Gentry stop?
Travis must have been thrown.
What difference does that make?
The only difference is, Duke, that Tony has the choice of winning a race or being human. That's more than those pawns of yours back there can do. How's the boy doing?
Well, you're looking at a couple of winners, Casey.
Mr. Gentry, we'll be moving out soon, and we'd like you to join us. Name your prize, huh?
I'm not for sale this week, Duke. Not unless you can buy Casey, Ben, the whole circus.
Oh, well, that might be rather cumbersome.
Well, you'll just have to do without me.
Goodbye, gentlemen. It's been most interesting.
Adios, Duke.
Perhaps you gentlemen would like to try something a little less strenuous, more suited to your talents?
Oh, yeah.
Tony, I'll flip you for it.
Heads.
Sorry, you lose.
Take it easy now, Ben.
Oh, you had in mind fisticuffs, perhaps?
Well, yes.
Ah, something like this?
Oh, more like that, Colonel.
Oh, Ben, when was the last time that you was thrown from a horse?
Well, there's an old saying, Tony, if you ain't been throwed, you ain't rode.
Straighten up, boys. We got a show to put on in Grand Island.